can now hear me, I hope. And what I was saying earlier was Happy New Year, happy 2026. I hope you've had a relaxing and peaceful holiday, Christmas and New Year. And 2025 was a tough one, wasn't it? So let's hope that all of what we want to let go of from 2025 is let go of. And may 2026 be happy, peaceful, healthy, happy, joyous, and very successful for everybody. Okay, so I really, really hope it's going to be a good year this year, and I think that it should be. All right. So while I'm just doing my introductions, please pop in the chat box where you're watching from. I'd love to know if you're in Sydney or Brisbane, Melbourne, Hong Kong, Singapore, the US. I think the UK, it'll be a little bit too early in the morning for everybody, so I doubt they'll be there. But I see that there are some comments coming through. Oh, how lovely. I'm looking at my phone as well. Alex from Boston. Hello, Alex. How lovely to see you there. Linda. Hello. Yes, amen to that. I absolutely agree. Kevin Turner, you wonderful man. We met. Let's get the show on the road. Absolutely. We met in Dallas last year. It was highlight of my year. And so I'm really, really glad that you're here. And I hope that you're going to find this session helpful, because to kick off the new year, you don't want more of the negative that may have occurred in 2025. You want more of the positive, but sometimes we don't know how to go about it. And some people wing it, other people set a plan. Now, if you're someone who has set a plan, I would love to know in the comments if you have set a plan and how you're feeling about it. But I'm thinking that if you are joining me today, you might want a little bit of help in order to set the plan for personally and professionally how to make 2026 a really good year for you, your family, your friends, your colleagues. And that's what today's all about. Because, I had 2 career clarity chats with some people who are exploring what it is that I do this morning. And they were looking for clarity of purpose. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Where do I want to be in the next 3 to 6 months? How do I look for a job? In fact, maybe the job that I'm looking for isn't the job that I really want. So there's always something that forms a question mark in our minds. And I hope that today's session will be really helpful for you. So what I'm going to do today is, let me get rid of this banner of where you're watching from. I would still love to know where you are watching from, and I'll have a look in a minute. But what I want to do is to share with you this URL, okay? And I'll just hide the other one, this URL, because what we're going to be working through today, after a little bit of my preamble, okay, will be how you can prepare for the year ahead. You need a little bit of self-reflection first, and then some planning. So if you go to thecareersacademy.online/prepare-year-ahead, you will be able to request to download this workbook. Okay, so I've just printed it out in black and white or grey and white, but you can print it out in color if you like, or you can use it as a soft copy on your laptop or desktop as we go through it. If you're joining me via a phone, it's going to be a little bit small for you to read it on your phone screen. However, I will be enunciating very clearly so that you know what I'm talking about, and you can take notes if that's going to be helpful. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick look at some of the comments. Alex, Linda, Joanne. Hello, Joanne from Newcastle. Good to have you back again. Karen. Hello, Karen. Francis, great to have you. Yes, I know it's very, very hot in Sydney at the moment. Diane, hello. Fedra, how lovely to see you again. It's always wonderful. And Alex, your plan is to launch a side hustle. I'm excited for you too. And I'm very excited for 2026 for all of us, because for those of you who don't know, I'm half Chinese, half English. And so the Lunar New Year is important to me. And you know what we're entering? We are entering the year of the fire horse. This year, currently, and all of last year, it was the year of the snake. We're now entering the fire horse. Comes around once every 60 years. And it is going to be a very exciting year of renewal, rebirth. It's it's a time for new beginnings, I think. And so I really hope that it's going to be good for all of you. Now, who am I? Okay, so those of you who know, I'm Jane Jackson, I'm a career management coach. And those of you who don't know, what I do is I help you to break through fear and self-doubt, so that you can gain clarity of purpose, so that you can confidently create the life and career that you deserve. I'm all about career clarity, building career confidence, and then once you've got that, you can set your plan. And the rest of it, the practical steps to land your next job or start your next business, that's not rocket science. It's a process. I can also help you through each of the steps to create a resume, LinkedIn, job interviews, how to network effectively, onboarding. All of that is part and parcel of what I do. But we can't do it until you gain clarity of purpose, because with clarity of purpose comes the confidence to be able to effectively make the right decisions. And so clarity is something that I'm very, very big on. All right. So I hope that you get it today. So have you downloaded the Prepare for the Year Ahead workbook yet? I hope that you have. Let me just have a look here. Are you British? Yes, I am. I'm British. I'm also Australian, but I was born in Malaya and I grew up in Hong Kong, which was a British colony before. And so basically I grew up as an expat kid, and I've moved country 5 times. I've lived in Hong Kong, I've lived in San Francisco, I've lived in London for quite a number of years, and Singapore and Sydney. So I've made 5 country moves and had to reinvent my career each time. So yes, it's hard. You're a little bit small. Maybe you're on a I Got Stripes. Okay, that's a good name. You have a soft copy. It's a little bit small. Yes, it's probably because you're looking at it on your phone. If you open it up on your desktop, it will be very clear, or else download and print it, and that will be perfect. But let me share my screen now with you. And well, just before I do, let me just tell you a little bit more about the importance of career clarity, because what I want to know is, have you felt a quiet sense of like disconnection, that you're moving, but you're not really moving towards anything in particular because you're not clear, you don't have clarity of purpose. And in order to gain clarity of purpose, you need space to think clearly. Yes, today is all about thinking clearly and reflecting, because you're moving ahead in your career, in your job, everything's fine, and there's a lot of momentum, but it's a little bit like driving a car at night through a thick fog. You know, the engine's working, the car's working, you're driving, you've got the lights on, the road is there, you're moving forward, but you can't really see too clearly. Your visibility is limited and you only see a few meters ahead. And so, you know, when it comes to the longer journey, gosh, every decision feels a little bit uncertain. You grip the steering wheel, you know, you second guess yourself and you wonder, you know, sometimes if you make a turn, if you're on the right road at all. I wonder if that's how maybe you're feeling about your career, because many professionals like you mid-career, they feel there's something missing. You haven't stalled, you haven't failed, you're simply navigating without the visibility, and you don't gain clarity from pushing harder or going faster. In fact, sometimes that ends up with you making mistakes, and too much speed increases anxiety without clarity. The clarity comes from pulling over, pausing, switching the engine off, and checking the map so you know which direction you're heading in. And not only that, but why are you heading in that direction? Okay, so that's what today is all about, and I really hope that you're enjoying it. What's my IQ? I don't know. I haven't tested my IQ. I think it'll be very interesting to find out. If there's an IQ test you want to send to me, I'm very happy to take it. So these are some very interesting questions. I'm getting them from Facebook and YouTube as well as LinkedIn. So gosh, you're all dialing in from all over the place today. Now let me share my screen. Okay, so here, this is the workbook that you will have downloaded. And so I'm just going to make this bigger for myself so that I can see it very clearly too. And so as you go through the workbook, you'll find that this is my quiet, peaceful way for you to gain confidence in yourself. Okay, I don't want to force your motivation. It's just a quiet time to create a little bit of space and to think about you. This is your time, okay? And I'm going to guide you through 7 simple but powerful steps to help you regain some clarity, and you need to do a little bit of thinking. All right, I'm keeping the URL down at the bottom of this presentation just for anyone who happens to join a little bit later and needs to download it. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. We need some quiet time. Now, after today's session, perhaps you just want to listen to me and not work on the workbook just yet. But after today's session, please do print out the workbook and sit down and have a little bit of additional self-reflection. At the end of this session, I'll open up, and if you've got any questions, I'm very happy to answer them on the spot too. Okay, so let's start. The year audit. This is what you need to do, is to make sense of what's past, because we learn from history, don't we? And if we don't learn from what's past, mistakes that have happened, good things that have happened, then we're never going to be able to progress. So let's understand what happened in the past year for you. I want you to just think, what were your 3 biggest wins the past year? Even if they weren't visible to others, other people might not know about your big wins. They can be personal wins or professional wins. For me, one of my personal wins was that I got over a rather major eye operation. Another personal win for me was that my husband got over 2 major health issues this year, because that really was quite an emotional roller coaster for me. But professionally, I coached, oh gosh, over 65 individual clients, which was absolutely wonderful, and 95% of them landed the next role within 4 months of us working together. So that to me was a win. What were your wins? They can be small wins or they can be big wins. But what lessons, as the next question is, what lessons did last year teach you, including the challenges and disappointments? It's through the challenges, the bad stuff that happens, that we learn so much. And well, here in Sydney, we had some very, very sad events happen right at the end of 2025. And the lesson I learned from that is tolerance is important. Accepting people who they are and what they believe in is very important. That was something that I guess we could all learn from as well. But next question I want you to ask yourself is, what consistently drained your energy? What just was not working for you, that happened time and time again, and you thought, oh, here we go, that's enough? For me, what drains my energy are negative people. Okay, people who won't try, people who put their hands up in the air and think, oh, it's everybody else's fault except my own, and don't take ownership. That tends to drain my energy. I don't know about you, but what drains your energy? Okay, now what consistently gives you energy? Because what gives you energy is something that you want more of. For me, family time gives me wonderful energy, so I want more of that as well. So you see how thinking about these questions gives us a base to start from, okay? What drains my energy? What gives me energy? What do I want to repeat in the coming year? What do I want more of? Really think about that. What do you want more of this year? What worked so well for you last year that you think, yeah, I'm going to refine it, I'm going to repeat it, I'm going to make it better? And a very important final question on this page is, what am I ready to stop carrying forward? You know how sometimes we harbor regrets or resentments or little frustrations, and then they bubble up over the year, and when you have a disagreement with someone, it tends to come up yet again. What are you going to let go and just think, it is now ancient history. I'm not going to look in the rearview mirror. I am going to move forward. I am leaving that back in 2025. I wonder if that would help. Yes. Now, I'm just going to check, see if there is anything that is that I need to mention. Let's see, side hustle. Oh, thank you, Kevin. You rock. Alex, biggest win was to land a job back in Boston after spending 12. How wonderful is that in Boston? Oh, and you know, Alex, I was in Boston in October. What a beautiful city that is. I really enjoyed it. Did the Freedom Trail and loved it. Let's see. Working alone for you, Alex, is a big drain. Working with clients is what gives you an energy boost. Yes, me too. I love that. That's wonderful. And oh, thank you, Secret. Great questions. Let's see. Oh, you grew up in Brooklyn and just moved back. How fantastic. Oh, it's so interesting doing live sessions and being able to sort of talk to each of you as well as I'm going through this. Now, I'm going to go to the next page. Now, just before I do, I'm going to put my banner away because it is blocking my view. All right, so let me just hide that banner. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to carry on with the next slide. So we've done the audit of the past year. Now, what is the next year? Close the open loops. Let's do a little bit of just getting rid of the clutter in our heads, because delayed conversations, delayed decisions, kind of like, excuse my language, half-assed projects that haven't quite finished, they're all consuming your mental energy. Anything in our minds that is unfinished, our minds keep going back to, and it drains our energy. It's almost like we're tolerating things, and it distracts us and it takes up mental space. Let's clear the clutter. So this isn't about finishing everything off. It's about letting go and freeing up space. So first of all, we need to identify what is unfinished business for you. What projects have you worked on that are unfinished? Now, they might be projects that you need to finish, or projects that maybe you can let go of. They might be unfinished because of a reason. Maybe it drains your energy and you just think, oh, I don't really want to do that anyway. So what projects are unfinished from last year? Next one is, what conversations have you been avoiding? Are there some important conversations that you need to make or you need to have with your subordinates, your manager, your colleagues, your partner, your children, your friends? There might be some conversations that once you've had them and you've been avoiding them because you don't like confrontation, perhaps. I know I'm like that. I don't like confrontation. But you know what? When you have that confrontation, you just build up your courage and think, no, this needs to be said. It's not nearly as bad as you anticipated that it would have been. So what conversations have you been avoiding that need to be had? Identify them and set a time frame by which you will have these conversations. Yes. Next, are there any decisions that you needed to make that you haven't made yet? You're thinking, yeah, I'll get back to it in a little while. I'm not ready to make that decision yet. But why? Why haven't you made the decision? What's holding you back from that? What are those decisions? Write it down. And then ask yourself, what can realistically be completed within the next 2 weeks? Or in fact, what can realistically be completed in the next 2 hours or next day? Because there might be some conversation. Maybe you need to apologize to someone for something that you did or said. Just pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I'm really sorry I said that. I shouldn't have, and I feel bad about it. And don't leave it for 2 or 3 months, because it gets worse. When the longer things fester, the worse they get. Okay, so if you need to complete something in the next 2 weeks, set that time frame. Go and do it. Put it in your calendar. I find anything that is put in my calendar gets done. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't get done because it obviously wasn't important enough. Okay, now what can I consciously archive or let go of? What can you archive or let go of? Because that is one of the most freeing experiences, when you can let go of stuff. Yes? Okay, so I hope that was good. Are you going to let go of anything? Anybody? Okay, I just wonder. I'm just looking to see if there have been any messages. Okay, no additional comments just yet. But if there is unfinished business, shall we finish that business, or shall we let go and close the door? It's like finishing a chapter, okay? Chapter 2025 is over now. We are on to chapter 2026. Okay. Now, next one, our relationships in our life. We can't live without relationships. We are people who love to be with others, yes? And, some people like being with others more than others. But relationships shape how confident and supported and really comfortable we feel, okay? So at the beginning of this year, it's now, let's acknowledge who's made a difference in your life, and then reconsider the connections or the friendships that consistently unsettle you or make you unhappy as well. So let's make a decision. First of all, identify who made a positive difference to you this year. Was it your mother, your father, your friend, your partner, your best friend, your colleague, your boss, someone who reports to you? Who made a difference for you this year, personally and professionally? Who made you feel good and made you smile? I wonder. I'm sure there'd be many, many people who would have made you smile, but some people might not have. So let's acknowledge those who have made you happy. Who do you want to thank or acknowledge? So often things happen and we go, oh yeah, thanks, but we don't actually make a big enough deal about what was positive. So write that email to say thank you when you did this. Be specific about it. Don't be vague. Just say, when you wrote that report, the detail in that report was very impressive. Thank you so much. Okay, so be really specific when you're giving thanks so people know exactly what it is that they did, and then they'll probably repeat it again as well. Or if someone did something nice to you, maybe it was someone even in the supermarket checkout counter who was always friendly, always smiling, always has something nice to say. Acknowledge them as well, because too often they don't get acknowledged. So it gives you a feeling of, connection with the community when you do that. Now I want to ask you, is there one conversation you need to have in order to feel complete? Is there a conversation that needs to be had? Don't be afraid. I'm sure that there are conversations that you've been avoiding. But once you have that conversation and decide in advance what you're going to say and how you're going to phrase it, because your body language, your tone of voice counts for a lot, as well as the words that come out of your mouth. That's because of a study by Dr. Albert Mehrabian on the messages, silent messages. Yes. So if you're going to have a conversation and it's a difficult one, make sure you know what your body language is going to be like when you deliver the message, what your tone of voice is, because there's nothing that cheeses me off more than someone who's got a negative tone of voice when I'm speaking to them or they're speaking to me, and, make it a positive experience for them. Yes. Now, what about the relationships that consistently drain your energy? Is there a negative friend who's been hanging around and making you feel guilty a lot? Is that a relationship that maybe it's time to just let go? Rather than keep chasing and trying and hoping that it'll get better. If there are relationships that consistently drain your energy, can you let go? Right? So that you can answer this final question, who do I want close as I step into 2026? Because the relationships that build us up, make us feel good, we want more of that. Keep those friends, keep those relatives, keep those special people close to you. Who are they? Who do you want to keep close? Make sure that you keep maintaining contact with them throughout the year. They could be, connections you've made on LinkedIn. Maybe you want to keep them close by meeting them in real life. There's Kevin Turner is on this call. Thank you so much, Kevin. And we met on LinkedIn, and wonderful. I had a layover on my way to Washington, D.C. when I was going for my niece's wedding. I had a layover in Dallas. Kevin lives in Dallas. We've never met before. And he and his lovely wife, Dana, drove an hour and a half to the airport so that we could spend time together. It was so special. Those are the relationships I want to keep close. We've known each other for years, but we've never met in real life. And when we did, gosh, it was magic. It was very, very special. Okay, so you think about that. Okay, the next thing I want you to think about, step 4, is your health and your energy focus. So when your energy is low, everything feels hard. Everything feels heavy. Okay, so you can't just wait to feel motivated. You need to do something to prepare yourself so that you will become motivated again. So let's ask yourself, how has your body been asking for support? Have you been getting sick? Have you been feeling run down? Do you feel lethargic? Are you falling over, or are you, having little accidents to hurt yourself? Are you constantly bumping into things? You need to ask yourself, if you hurt yourself or if you get sick frequently, your body is telling you something. It's telling you that maybe you're getting burnt out. Maybe your nutrition is not so good. Maybe you need to pay attention of where you're going. Okay, rather than thinking of 101 things at the same time. So how has your body been asking for support? For me, my body was asking me to slow down. I got very sick just before Christmas, and I was so annoyed because I had so much planned, but I had been doing too much. And so my body was asking me to slow down and rest, which I did, and it made a difference. Now, ask yourself this: what small actions would help you to feel more rested or nourished? What small actions? Would it be something? And I'd love you to mention in the comments what you do to feel more rested and nourished. I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to have a nice long hot bath with candles, cup of tea, and a book. And I lie in the bath for all time, and I feel so good. And while I'm doing it, I'm very conscious that I'm practicing self-care. And I say to myself, I'm doing this because I'm worth it. Other little things that I do that make me feel good too. It's such a small thing is in my drawer, in my desk, I have this really lovely hand cream that smells so nice. And so every once in a while, I put on a little bit of hand cream, okay, and I rub it in, and I smell it, and I put on hand cream not only to nourish my hands, but because it feels good and because I'm worth it. Do you tell yourself that you're worth it? So what do you do to make yourself feel worth it, rested, and nourished? Now, next question is, what appointments or routines can you set in place that will support you in the coming months? Would it be going to bed a little bit earlier? Would it be switching off your phone at least an hour before you go to bed? Would it be reading a book before bed? What about appointments such as scheduling your dentist, your doctor, your eye appointment, your cardiologist if you have one, going to the podiatrist, going to the physiotherapist or the chiropractor? What appointments do you need to set in place that will support you in the coming months so that you can physically and mentally be ready for anything that 2026 brings you? Okay. And then what does taking care of myself, ask yourself, what does taking care of myself look like right now? What is possible? And I wonder what it is. So no one's been sharing their self-care routines. What do you do? I would love, now, even if you're watching the replay and not live, feel free to pop in the comments what you do that helps you to look after yourself. Is it taking breaks every half hour? Is it going for a long walk in the morning? Is it going to the gym? Is it putting on hand cream? Is it taking your vitamins and minerals? Is it having a long hot bath? Is it having lunch with a friend? There are so many things that you could do that will help you to feel supported and physically and mentally nourished as well. So that's step 4. Let's go on to the next step. Step 5, the money reality. Now, everybody needs money. You need your finances set up so that you can pay your bills and live the life that you deserve, yes? And so very often people avoid thinking about finances because it stresses them out. But really, this step here is asking you to be honest. You don't need to share it with me. This is your own assessment, okay? But you need to understand what's coming in, what's going out, and what is realistic for you moving forward. If you're in between jobs at the moment and there's no income coming in, you need to do a budget, don't you? And so obviously getting the next role, landing the next role, or building your business so that it generates sufficient income will be something that you're going to focus on 100% in 2026. But you need to really start from the foundations so that you know where you're at. So take a financial audit as well. Ask yourself these questions, because when you know where you stand, you don't feel so stressed. So what did you actually earn the past year? Okay, so what were the incomings? Yes, from all different sources. Could be in addition to income, it could be your investments or a side hustle or whatever it might have been. And what did you actually spend? Have you done a budget? Do you know what your weekly and monthly outgoings are? Are you overspending every month, or are you able to put some money away every month? So think about that. Now, this is an important one. Where did money quietly leak away? Oh my goodness, I did an audit, and you know when my money quietly leaks away? Subscriptions I've forgotten that I signed up for. And I went through my phone, and I've got all these phone subscriptions I immediately cancelled them. I'm thinking I haven't used that for 2 years, and I've been paying for 2 years for nothing, basically, because I didn't even know I had them. So identify where the money is quietly leaking away. Okay. Oh, let me see. I've got some questions here. Let me see. Karen, what will make you feel more rested and nourished? More exercise. It's fun. Oh, absolutely. What is fun? You know what I find is fun for exercise, Karen, is I go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, and I get on the rowing machine, which is deadly boring, but it's, it exercises 80%, 86% of all your muscles. So I think it's a very efficient way of exercising, get my cardio as well as a bit of strength training in. But I always listen to an audio book. And at the moment, what's the name of the audio book that I'm listening to? Oh, it's called The Rosy Life in Italy. Fantastic book, all about someone who moves to Italy and sets up life there. It's really lovely. And that to me makes my exercise fun, because I'm listening to this great audiobook. I don't listen to it at any other time. So when I have to go to the gym and I don't feel like it, I equate it with listening to the audiobook, and so that makes it fun. So I'm excited to go to the gym so I can listen to another few more chapters of A Rosy Life in Italy, and any other book that I decide to do as well. So that's a good one, Karen. Alex, you don't rest enough, but you're in creator mode and don't want to stop your momentum. Okay. Well, at the beginning of starting any business, especially in that startup phase, it's a lot of energy, but in the long term, it's for great reward. So you've compromised in a way. You've consciously made the decision, and because it's conscious, it's actually acceptable and doable. It's when it's unconscious that makes it so hard. Sigrid, you say, I need to come back to just those actions. Yes, that keep me excited, not overwhelmed. Yeah, I know you need to really think about what makes you very, very happy as well. And you know what makes me happy? Talking to you guys. I love coaching. My career anchor is dedication to a cause or service. And so being of service, being helpful, that really, it builds me up. So you think about what your career anchor might be. If you don't know what it is, then if we ever work together, I will help you to identify your career anchor. All right. So what is going to help? Oh, hang on. Where am I up to? Where did money quietly leak away? Next one is, what feels like a realistic financial focus for the year ahead? What is realistic? To increase your income by a percentage, to earn a certain amount realistically after tax, okay? To save for something special like a mortgage or a special holiday. What is it that is your realistic financial focus for the coming year? And finally, what will help you feel more in control? What will help you feel more in control? Is it a conversation with a financial advisor or financial planner? Maybe you need a professional involved to help you. Or if it's just doing a budget so that you know what's coming in and going out, that will already help you to feel more in control. Do it. Just do it, as Nike says. Okay, so that's step 5. What's step 6? Your digital environment. Oh, our digital environment. What you consume daily shapes how you think. You know how the algorithms work. When you're looking on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, it feeds you more of the same thing and you end up spiraling. So this step encourages you to notice where that digital focus is and what builds you up and what is eroding your confidence. Because very often being on social media too much, you get that comparisonitis. Very dangerous, because you know what people put online, especially on platforms like TikTok and it's curated. They put in the best of the best. Either they're being overly sharey, they share like the major disasters in their life, or else it's overly curated and it paints a false picture of how amazing they are. So just going onto social media so often can be a little bit of a downer for many people. So let's ask yourself these questions. Which accounts and what content drains your focus or confidence? Which accounts and content drains your focus? Get rid of them. Okay, get rid of them. If it drains your confidence, you don't need them. You don't need comparisonitis, because you know what? Just because one flower blooms, it doesn't mean that you as a flower are not blooming just as brightly. Okay, flowers can bloom in unison. It's fine. Stay in your own lane. Do your own thing and don't compare with other people. There will be other people who are comparing themselves with you and not measuring up. Did you realize that as well? Okay, so if you're feeling a little bit of a lack of confidence, just stick to what you know is your thing and whatever it is that you do well. All right, now ask yourself this: which people and what ideas support your thinking? Okay, which people, what sort of ideas build you up, okay, make you feel good, reinforce that you are on the right track, that you can do what you are dreaming of, okay, because you want to surround yourself with people who are probably on the same journey as you two, or have been there before and know the path so that they can guide you through. So find a mentor, find a coach, find someone that you admire who is doing what you aspire to be doing, and that will really help you, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can go down a well and tried path that works. Okay, there's nothing wrong with finding what works and making it better. You can do that. Yes. So next question: how do you want your digital environment to feel in the coming year? How do you want it to feel? When you go online, what do you want to see? You may need to get rid of some accounts that you've been following. You may need to get rid of some profiles that you've been following. Follow what you know feeds your mind, feeds your soul, and helps you to be a better person. Okay, so you think about how you want it to feel next year, and what is it that you can do right now? What are the small changes that you can make right now? I know for me, there are some accounts I can delete, okay, right away, and I haven't deleted them simply because I haven't thought about it. So why don't we think about it? What is it that you don't want to follow, don't want to see anymore? Okay, because it will help the algorithms on, some of those digital platforms to know what it is that you want to see. If you want more news, local news, then you can train the algorithm to show you more local news as well. If you want more inspiring content, you can train the algorithm to show you more inspiring content if you like. But your digital environment, it takes up so much of your time that it really is important to make it work for you. Okay, so let me see, Alex. I do have YouTube and Instagram accounts. Let's see, but are laying dormant for now. Focus and yeah, to be quite honest, LinkedIn is the great platform. If it's going to be corporate, LinkedIn for job seekers, for business building, B2B is perfect. I find Facebook I use more for family, friend stuff. Yes, although I do have a business account, but it really is not the platform for me. Instagram, I like Instagram mainly because I find I get inspired very much by many people that I know and respect on Instagram, and I'm on it, but it's not really my platform. LinkedIn is the platform where I can really provide the most help and support. In fact, this broadcast is going live on my Facebook business page right now, and my YouTube channel as well. If you don't follow my YouTube channel, it's just at youtube.com at Jane Career Coach. All my handles are at Jane Career Coach, and you'll be able to see all my career support videos there too, which might be useful. Anyway, let's go on to step 7, your 12-month blueprint. Okay, so I'm nearly coming up to time now. I've been going for 41 minutes. Gosh, I can talk, can't I? So turn intention, please, into direction. Once your reflection and preparation are complete, then you can plan because you have clarity. Yes. So this step will help you to focus on what really, really matters. Okay. So your path needs to feel realistic for it to actually work. So let's ask you, what are your 3 most important goals for the year ahead? We don't want 25 goals. We want the 3 big ones. Okay. 1 personal goal, maybe 2 professional goals. What are the most important ones for you this year? Let's not go too far ahead. I don't work by 5-year plans, okay? Because change is constant. Everything changes. A 5-year plan to me is ridiculous. Let's go year to year, 3 years max, okay? But this year, what's going to happen? Make it your goal. You make it happen. Why, ask yourself, do these goals matter to you right now? Why are they important? Honestly, it's not just to make money. There must be something else as well. Money is important, yes, but why do they matter to you? And why do they matter to you now rather than last year? Yes. So write down the why. Simon Sinek, start with why. He is just an absolute guru in my mind, and we need to understand our motivations. So why is very important, okay? Why do they matter to you? The next one is, what would progress look like by the end of each quarter? So let's break it down into quarters. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. What will progress look like? Because I don't want you to be taken unawares at the end of the year. It's okay, after the first quarter, where will you be? After the second quarter, where do you anticipate you will be? This way we can take smaller steps. Yes, break it down into chunks to eat the elephant, yes, as they say, and it makes it doable. So what is the very first small action for each of those goals? Name one action that will just get you on that momentum track. Okay, one small action for each of those goals, because most of us don't reach our goals because we've got these lofty goals and they all seem so unattainable and we don't know where to begin. And so that clarity of purpose and being able to break down the big goal into the small steps is important. So what's the one thing that you can do in the next 2 weeks to start momentum moving for each of your goals for this year? And then what needs to be scheduled within the next 30 days to support momentum? Schedule it in, put it in your calendar. As soon as something's in your calendar, you wake up in the morning, you look, this is what I'm doing today. Okay. You know what I've started using that helps me is an app called Motion. Motion, Motion. It's really handy because if I happen to miss a deadline for something, it automatically reschedules it according to the priority level that I have named that particular task, project, or goal. And it really helps to keep me on track. So those are the 7 steps that I think will be useful. Oh, Ivan, thank you so much. I'm really, really glad that this is helping a little bit as well. So your action plan, okay, do step 1, your year audit. Step 2 is close those open loops, unfinished business. 3 is reset your relationships. Okay. 4 is think about your health and without health, you have nothing. Okay. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how many friends you have, how great relationships you have. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. So look after your health first and foremost. You are the most important person in your life. I know we tend to think, no, our family is, our loved ones are more important than I am. But you know what? They rely on you too. So you need to keep yourself healthy, fit and well so that you can do what you need to do. Then the money reality, set your budget so you know where you stand. Digital environment, make it positive, not draining, and set your 12-month blueprint. Yes, okay. Now, practical steps, of course, is that if you need help Well, I'm Jane Jackson. I'm a career management coach, and I help you to break through the fear and self-doubt so that you can gain clarity of purpose and create the life and career that you deserve. So if I can help you, then go to janejacksoncoach.com and book a complimentary exploratory chat and see if I'm for you. I might not be for you. You might not be for me either. Okay, I don't work with everybody. We've got to have an alignment of values. But even if you don't want to talk to me, which is fine, I would love to talk to you though, but you can take my career success quiz, which you'll find at janejacksoncoach.com. Just scroll down, you'll find the quiz, or you can go directly to it if you go to careersuccess.scoreapp.com. Okay, so that might be helpful for you. This is who I am. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so that I can just chat with you. Okay, there we go. And let me just have a look at the comments. Oh, you've gained, so Ivan, you've joined some communities. That's wonderful. Consistent handles. You've been active in your Google Calendar this week than all of last. Fantastic. Google is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And let me see. For Sigrid, you say, come back to just those actions each day that keep you feeling excited and not overwhelmed. Yeah, spend a few days creating an overall plan. Absolutely, yes. That would be wonderful. And also Sigrid. Sigrid is absolutely amazing. She's very good with networking, you know, and she has an online networking platform, which is very helpful. So thank you, Sigrid, for joining me. But if you haven't met Sigrid yet, I suggest that you follow her, because she really is very good when it comes to helping people to network, and that's her reason for being. Okay, and so for you now, where are you at? Has this been helpful? Let me put into the banner, if you haven't downloaded the manual, here it is. Okay, thecareersacademy.online, prepare-year-ahead, and you can download my Prepare for the Year Ahead workbook, because in it I ask you some very important questions that will help to clear your head, and you'll begin to start setting a plan. Obviously, if you want more assistance, then all you need to do is to go here, okay, janejacksoncoach.com, and at the top there's book an exploratory chat, and we can have a chat if you like, and I can get to know you, you can get to know me, and we can decide if you want to work with me or not. Okay, no pressure. It's a totally no obligation chat. I'm always up for a chat. All right, we can have a virtual cup of tea together like this, which would be quite nice. And also, if you want, you can go and take my career success quiz, because what the quiz does, and you'll find it at janejacksoncoach.com, is that the quiz asks you a series of 7 sets of questions to identify where you might be going wrong when it comes to marketing yourself, getting a promotion, landing your next role. It only takes you 2 minutes. You answer these questions honestly, and then you get your results immediately, and you also get a series of recommendations based on your results as to what you need to do to improve on the areas that you might not be so strong in, or areas that you might have missed. So the career quiz is really, really helpful. You'll find it at janejacksoncoach.com as well. Okay, so let me have a look. Karen, thank you. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad that you like the workbook, and thanks for joining the presentation, Karen. It's great to meet you here on LinkedIn. And Sigrid, thank you. Thought-provoking question. Yeah, the workbook's good, isn't it? I like doing LinkedIn Lives with a workbook, because it makes it more practical for people who actually join the session. And also, because the session is recorded, you'll find it on my website, on my LinkedIn profile. Anytime you just go to events and you'll find it. You can watch the replay if there's something that you want to go over again. And also, if you're watching the replay and you've got questions, I always go back to the comments and have a look. And if you've got a question for me, I'll respond as well. Okay, so reach out, request to connect, give me a personalized note, please, if you want to connect with me, and I'd be very happy to help. So if there are no more questions, then we will end this presentation. Let me just have a look on YouTube, on Facebook. Oh, let's see. So Fjord says his life changed when he started appreciating suffering. I guess when you appreciate the challenges that you go through and you realize that it's a learning experience, then yes, definitely there's a transformation for us, because when we work through challenges, we develop resilience. And if we know that we can bounce back despite the challenges, we're never going to be worried again, are we? And if you think about the challenges that you've overcome in your life throughout all of your life, every time you thought, oh, how am I going to get through this? Oh no, this is awful. I'm never going to be able to live through this. Well, guess what? You're here today. You lived through it. You got through it. You did it, right? So you are highly resilient, and you found a way through. So you can give yourself a big clap for that. That's a great start to 2026, isn't it? So love you lots. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be making these LinkedIn Live sessions regular. If you would like them every week, let me know. If you'd like them once a fortnight or once a month, do let me know as well. Send me a DM on LinkedIn or Facebook, or on YouTube. You can comment under the live stream. Okay, so that's it for now, and I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me, and oh, thank you, Linda. It's so lovely to meet you as well. Someone is a LinkedIn user, really helpful book. Do you think it's helpful not to have a target date, a deadline by which you aim to be in a design? If you're, now I don't know who you are because it just says LinkedIn user, but if you're looking for a job, there are many variables, okay? Depends on the economy, depends on the industry you're targeting, depends on the level of the role that you're going for. If you're going for a senior executive role in an industry that is not growing, it's going to take you longer, because you can imagine there needs to be attrition in order for there to be roles open for you to be placed into. And if you do your research and understand the industry that you're targeting, you'll know if there is much of a turnover or not. And especially if you're going for senior roles, there's a finite number of roles within an organization or within that industry that come open each year or each quarter. So if you're targeting it, you'll be able to work out your percentage of success. Yes. If you're going for a role that is not a very tight role, and there are many of them, then obviously your success rate will be much shorter, much quicker. And so setting a deadline by which you must find a job, that it's not going to be so realistic for you, because it's going to cause a lot of stress. But what you need to do, because the money is important as well, and of course you need a job in order to be able to pay the bills. Of course, you've got your mortgage and maybe children or whatever, your bills that need to be paid. So if the dream job is proving to be harder and longer to achieve, then you need to think about alternative income streams. Maybe create several income streams. Maybe a side hustle is a good idea, or take on some temporary roles, contract roles, interim management roles, to be able to tide you through until you land the ideal role, if the finances are important. But do your budget, know how much is outgoing, how much is incoming. If you've been provided with a redundancy package, I suggest that you create a separate account within your bank account, which is the monthly spending account, so that you don't have the whole package that you're drawing upon, because it's very tempting to use up a big lump sum if it's there. So just put in enough for your spending each week or each month, and that will stop you from overspending while you're in that transition phase. I hope that helps that question. And thank you so much, Fedra, for joining. Thanks, Alex, and thank you everybody who is here. I'm going to end the live stream now, and I hope to see you on LinkedIn. If you post something that you would like me to comment on, just notify me or tag me, and I will certainly help to boost your posts for you if they are obviously in an area that I can assist with. Okay, so you take care, and I'll see you in a week or so. Bye now.